Okay, in this video we're going to look at what it means to solve a triangle. So when you solve a triangle, you want to calculate all the sides and angles of the triangles. So when you look at this triangle here, one thing I want you to notice is that we have the corners, vertices, labeled. We have them, I get my highlighter out here. We got capital A, capital B, and capital C. So those are going to indicate the angles of those corners. So one thing that I find really helpful is making this little organizational chart right at the beginning. So we're going to go over here and I'm going to write down angles. And I'm going to go capital A, capital B, capital C. So I go to my triangle and I see capital A, or angle A, is 53, so I'm going to write that down. And then I see capital C, or angle C, has a 90-degree symbol, so I'm going to write that down. So you can see I'm left to calculate angle B. So now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to write sides. And I'm going to use the small letters of A, B, and C. So small a is going to be the side directly opposite capital A. So you can see here, this length of 4 is directly opposite capital A, so that's going to be side small a. And we see over here, capital C, and then directly opposite it, so happens to be the hypotenuse, 5 is going to be small c. So this is a nice little organizational tool, because now you can look and say, okay, all I got to do is I got to calculate capital B, or angle B, and side B. Now again, if you had like X, Y, Z, you'd be using capital X, Y, Z for your angles, and then small x, small y, and small z. It doesn't really matter what letters they use to label the vertices of your triangle. So at this point here, you've got everything in your toolbox. Now you can label opposite, hypotenuse, and adjacent, and you can use the sine, cosine, tangent. You can do that, or you can use other things that you notice, because this is what's nice about the chart. See, once I put those angles down, I notice that I have 2 of the 3 angles. So I don't really necessarily need to use a trig ratio to calculate angle B, but that's perfectly fine. If you want to do that, you can look at the prior videos to get a refresher on that. We know that all the angles in the triangle add up to 180 degrees. So if I got 2 of them, I can just subtract 90 and 53, and I can get angle B that way, and I can see angle B comes out to 37. And just a little quick check, yes, all 3 of those do add up to 180. Now again, I got to calculate small b, or side b. Again, we could use a trig ratio. You could label out of one of the corners. In this case, it would be A or B, and you could set that up. You can look at a prior video for a little refresher on that. But since I do have 2 of the sides, I can use the Pythagorean theorem. So 5 is a hypotenuse, so I could go hypotenuse squared equals b squared, which I need to calculate, plus 4 squared. And working this out, so I'm just going to kind of go over here, a little bit more room. And I'm going to take the square root, and we can see small b is 3. And again, you always want to check to see if the hypotenuse is still the longest side, and C still is the longest side, 5. If it's not, you probably made a small little calculation error, and you can go back and check it. So again, this is how you solve a triangle. You calculate all the angles and all the sides, and I really do think that this organizational chart really kind of highlights everything, kind of keeps it nice and organized, because it can get a little messy with the labeling. Okay, we will see you in the next video.